My name is Alexis, and I wanted to quickly say thank you for listening to my video on global climate change. I hope that I'm able to enlighten you on this topic, as well as encourage you to continue to discuss the urgency of this topic and to enforce change that moves forward. So we have come very far since 1957, which was the release of the first publishing of the global climate change paper. And since that time, there have been huge advances of evidence, research, and data that show that global climate change is a real thing, such as the increase in carbon dioxide levels or the increase in ocean levels, and that there is evidence that humans do play a role in it, such as the increase of fossil fuel emissions due to the factories that we have. So even though there's huge evidence of this global climate change, there is still a glitch in the communication of the public and the discussion of global climate change. Yet there are an overwhelming amount of scientists who agreed and believe that global climate change is affected by humans and that it is a real thing. And specifically, in 2013, there is a paper that said that 97% of scientists agree that global climate change is a real thing and that it is affected by humans. And that study was conducted by a group of scientists that observed 4,014 abstracts, and they realized that 97% of those abstracts said that global climate change, there's evidence of global climate change and that humans play a role in it. So even though there is a huge agreement between scientists of global climate change, only 63% of Americans believe in climate change, which is barely over the majority. And what's even more shocking is that 42% of Americans say that they realize that scientists agree that global climate change is a real pressing issue, which means that more than the majority of the public do not realize that it is agreed that this is a pressing issue. So the main concern I have is, why is there huge public misunderstanding, not just in the US, but worldwide, because there are similar statistics in countries such as Russia and Brazil and India that show this. So scientists, such as social scientists, environmentalists, have reached an agreement that the misconceptions and misunderstandings in the discussion is due to the political stigmatization and the conversion of this issue into a political issue. And we see this today, such as when we hear the terms global warming, we tend to associate that as a political issue and stand clear of discussing that topic. And there are plenty of examples of how politicians and interest groups portray global warming and global climate in a negative light in order to further their political agenda. One example is a politician named Frank Luntz. He is a Republican strategist under George W. Bush, and he strategized that skeptics should portray through the media that the scientist community is still debating the causes of global warming, when in reality it is already agreed, like I said, that global warming is affected by humans. And it's not just Republicans that do this. There are also left-wing groups that do, such as MSNBC, which provided misinformation in 8% of their climate change coverage in ways such as exaggerated claims, and also saying that that global climate change is being debated by scientists. So now that we know that it is agreed by an overwhelming majority of scientists, experts are now reaching conclusions on how to combat this. And the main way that they recommend it is by discussing the 97% consensus with other people, such as presenting in front of groups, talking like small discussions within your own community, or even one-on-one. And it may seem like one person can't make huge changes, but experts are saying that mass voting and mass communication will enforce a change in policy and direct us to push for reforms. So I thank you so much for listening to my video and my passion about this, and I hope that it gets you inspired to get involved in combating global climate change. Thank you.